Okay, this is Christine. It is February 1st, 2015. I'm going to share a dream that I had last night. So that would be January 30th to February 1st. This is going to be a weird dream again. I'm not even sure if I should be sharing these things. I was at my parents' house again, and there was like a party / get together. It was nighttime. We looked through the dining room window because this bright light came in through the dining room window. So we looked outside, and there was a full moon outside in the upper left corner of the window. What I saw was a big spaceship type of thing, but it looked like a turtle. And it looked like a turtle that was standing upright. He wasn't crawling on his belly, he was standing upright. So his head was facing up towards the dark sky, and his pointy tail was coming down, and it was penetrating into the moon, into the full moon up in the sky. And I guess his legs just rested on the moon. From there, this is going to be a weird video. This is going to be a weird dream, weird video. From there, spirits got released. It was, the turtle was like a spaceship, and he had released his aliens or whatever, I don't know. And they were coming via spirits. Now, they were coming into my parents' house, but they were also going around the whole world. So it was kind of like an alien invasion. But the only thing I knew about was in my house, in my dream. It was my parents' house. So what we did, it ended up going from my parents' house it turned into a, like an old hospital from the 1800s, like cowboy days. And there was a lot of wooden stuff. There were people on the beds, on the sick beds, and they were half asleep, half awake, like on the verge of death is almost what it seemed like. So they were in a sick bed. They weren't able to get up and run away. And these spirits would come through the corridors, and they would see people that were like half dead in their sick beds, and they would land on the person's head, and they would like suck out all of your personality, your character, your soul, your spirit. They would take everything out of you from inside of you, like even your thoughts, and then they would just leave an empty, hollow body. And then they would go back up to the moon, up to the turtle spaceship. Now the turtle, his belly was facing the window, facing where I could see it. So that meant that his turtle shell was on the back side. So you only saw the underneath side of the turtle as he was standing upright on the moon. So the spirit would take that person's soul or essence and take it up to the turtle spaceship, and then they would come back down. And they only did one person per one spirit. So we knew that when that spirit took off, that we only had a limited amount of time before he'd come back for another person. And you could sense it when he was coming back to go for another person. Sometimes you could hear like screaming or crying in the background, because this was going on throughout the hospital, and there were many floors on this hospital. So this was no longer my parents' house. Now we were in some kind of old hospital. My dad was one of the people. Again, I was linked up with this girl. I've had her in dreams before. A skinny girl with dark, like long hair, and a skinny black guy who was like light brown colored skin. I was paired up. It was the three of us again. I've seen these two in previous dreams. I don't have a clue who they are. But my dad was one of the people in a sick bed, and we were trying to get, like, to move these people into different rooms so that the spirits couldn't find them, you know, and then take their essence away from the person. So my dad was there. My mom was in a different room, and she was already dead. She was laying on the floor. And actually, her name was written in like red cursive letters. It was written on her forehead. And the weird thing is what I did, oh gosh, was I cut out her brain, and because she was already dead, she wasn't going to feel anything. And I put it, and my mother was like a godly person, and I put it on my dad's forehead because my dad was one of those half dead people in his sick bed. He hadn't died yet, but he was not capable of getting out of the bed and running away. So I took my mom's brain and I put it on top of his head. I don't know if that was me trying to put like godly love in my dad, you know, and to kind of like let my mom be his shield or something like that. I don't know if that's why I did that. But I was hoping that when the spirit landed on my dad that he would take my mom's brain and leave my dad, and that would give me more time to get my dad out of there and kind of save him. So the three of us, we did this feverishly, trying to get patients out of their rooms and put them in different places so that the spirits couldn't find them, because they were going room to room to room, you know, landing on the person's head, taking everything out of them, their soul, their spirit, their personality, their characteristics, everything that made them unique, their person, and then they were just leaving the empty, hollow shell, not shallow, just the empty, hollow shell of a person, their body with nothing in it. They were leaving that on the table, and they were taking their spirits up to the moon, up to that turtle up there, or the spacecraft, whatever it was. After they came and landed on my dad, they did take my mom's brain, but they left my dad. We got my dad out, and then we went into a different room, and it was there was a wood floor, and kind of like a barn, an old wood floor, and there was a square in the floor, like a escape hatch. So we opened that, and the girl and the black guy, the white girl with the dark hair, and the black guy went in first. There was a ladder, so you have to step on the ladder and then go down. And it was like a barn in the basement. And then they told me, come on. So I did the same thing. I got on the ladder and I climbed down and I closed the hatch. And in closing the hatch, it was like we were hidden from the spirits, so they wouldn't be able to find us down in the barn, but they were still coming back and forth, taking people's memories. And so we ended up getting down in the barn, and it was just this huge empty barn, and there was a ledge up top, like where people could stand, as if like an equestrian place where they have horses riding, and you could stand on this ledge up top and just watch the horses below. Well, we were down below in the barn area, and I remembered in that dream that I have seen this barn before, that in a dream that I had like months ago, maybe even a few years ago, like 1 or 2 years ago. But this barn area looked familiar to me from a previous dream. So we would look at the hatch to make sure that like no spirits figured out that we had climbed down this escape hatch, and then they would try to come down into it. And then we saw this door to the left, and it had, there was barn doors. Okay, I'm going to draw this now. This is the basement that we're in. Okay, there's doors here, a double door, and it goes out. And there's a double door here. And here's the escape hatch that we had just climbed down. So this is the barn area. And it was empty. It just had like cement floor with hay on it and stuff like that. So this barn, this is a double barn door where you could bring horses in and out. We tried opening it, but it had a lock on it, like a padlock, a gold padlock on it, so you couldn't open it. So then we decided over here. Now this door was pretty. This was an old wooden barn door, you know, two sides that you would swing open. This one was a pretty glass door with like gold etching on it, and it also had gold handles on it, like, you know, these kind of long handles. And both doors, but we were afraid to open it because we didn't know what was on the other side, and we didn't want it to be spirits on the other side, like the spirits that were above this hatch that were wandering around in this old hospital, taking people's memories and personalities, etc. So we were curious what was through this door, but neither of us wanted to open it. So a man came storming through here. He just swung the right door open, walked straight through it, and then ended up walking this way. He had dark hair. He was a young man. He didn't see us, or if he did see us, he didn't care. It just seemed like he was on a mission, and he was just walking straight through. But as this door opened, because he just, you know, boom, burst through it, I ended up grabbing a hold of the golden handle before the door closed, before the door swung closed, after he just stormed through it. And then as I grabbed the handle, the door remained open, so the three of us ran out. And when we ran out, we were in a hallway, like in New York City, World Trade Center type of building. And it was beautiful. It was like gold walls, and there were 8 elevators, 4 on each side. Okay, so here's the 8 elevators, and it's really interesting because 8 is infinity. I'm thinking I just walked into heaven. This must have been hell up here. I don't know. And here's the door that we just walked, and then here's the barn. So here's the door that we just walked through, the guy just stormed through. And this was all gold, everything, the walls. It looked like a very expensive building, like something you'd see at the World Trade Center or something like that. You know, someplace where companies that have a lot of money, so they're naturally going to make everything look super, super beautiful. There were 8 elevators, 4 on each side, that took you up, and there were many floors on this building. And then this way, there was a revolving door, and the 3 of us, we ended up going into the revolving door, going around, and then we went outside, and there was a city, and there were other high-rises, and it was just a beautiful, normal, regular day. There were no spirits floating around. There was nobody getting their brain washed clear, you know. There was no, it was daylight, so the turtle spaceship on the moon, on the full moon, was gone. It was just blue skies, beautiful weather, people walking around town, minding their own business, just doing their own thing. Life was going on as normal. People were happy. It was just calm and peaceful. It was very nice. And I went through the revolving door and went outside, and that's when I woke up. So I had made it out of the building, which started at my parents' house, then turned into an old wooden hospital, and then we went into the escape hatch, into the barn, And then we ended up going through that pretty gold engraved door into this beautiful World Trade Center high-rise that, you know, had a whole bunch of floors on it, and everything was gold, and it had 8 elevators to take you up to many different floors. And that's why I was thinking it might have been heaven, because the New Jerusalem has many floors. Well, you know, the 12 and the gold. I don't know. I'm just assuming, and just the fact that it had 8 elevators, and 8 is the number of infinity. So I don't know, but I ended up making it out of the building, and I stepped into daylight and regular life with people. No turtle on the moon. No spirits going around looking for who they could take people's memories from. And yeah, I got out. So I don't know what all it means, but I just found it kind of interesting that the night that I had this dream, the next day, Anna ended up deleting all of her videos except for 24 of them. So turtles are obviously reptiles. They're from the reptile family. And I don't know if these like turtle spirits that were landing on people's heads and taking their mind and their thoughts and their character, personality, their soul, spirit, stuff like that. I don't know if that's getting your mind wiped clean, forgetting religion, forgetting things of the past, and just going through the revolving door and making it out into real life and sunshine and the kingdom of heaven. I don't know, but it was just a very weird dream, and I just found it kind of interesting that people's minds were getting washed clean and thoughts and everything was being removed. And then Anna ended up deleting all her videos that day, the next day. So we're in a transition. We're moving from the old and the religion into the new and the kingdom of heaven, which is love and light. And religion is darkness and bondage and rules and regulations and what you have to do and you can't do, and it's works of trying to make yourself perfect. And like Anna said, you can't make yourself perfect. It's forgiveness. Forgiveness is the way to God, not perfection. So I just wanted to share that. Again, I don't know if it means anything. It was just weird. So thanks a lot, and have a great day, everyone. Take care. God bless. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.